àsìkò tí ó létí.
Ultimate FM lálára àgbàyídá.
Ìkànnì tó rán wọn dànù òkìlẹ̀ ó tún ta wọ́n yọ.
Ultimate FM lálára àgbàyídá.
Ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wa ìgbádùn yín láàyò tiwa.
Ultimate FM lálára àgbàyídá.
Fàájì tí ò lẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́ ó pọ̀ ó tún ṣàn.
Ultimate FM lálára àgbàyídá.
Ẹ ṣe ẹ kú ìtẹ́tí bó ṣe dùn tó tún dùn.
Ultimate FM lálára àgbàyídá.
Ẹ tún tẹ́tí lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ bó ṣe rìnlẹ̀ gbìgbìgbì.
Ultimate FM lálára àgbàyídá.
Kìlómítà 36 láwa àgọ́wòye road ìṣàrà rẹ̀ mọ́.
Ultimate FM lálára àgbàyídá.
Ṣíjú mélòdì ló ń kọ́ omi lẹ̀ gbìgbìgbì.
Ultimate FM lálára àgbàyídá.
Ó dúró pọ̀ létí mi bí mo ṣe ń gbọ́ ló ń dùn mọ́ mi sí.
Ultimate FM lálára àgbàyídá.
Onírúurú ẹyẹ ló wà láyé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ọ̀kìn lọ bá wọn.
Ultimate FM lálára àgbàyídá.
Má yí kúrò jẹ́ ká jíjọ máa gbọ́.
Ultimate FM lálára àgbàyídá.
Àràm̀bádá owó jẹ́ o.
Ó mà wá ga o. Gbogbo ọjà ló tutù bí omi àmù yìí. Báwo mo ṣe fẹ́ ṣe é? Tájú òfin máa bùgbà tèmi náà jẹ.
Ọ̀rẹ́ wa àwọn ọlọ́gbọ́n dorí ẹja mú èèyàn. Ultimate FM ni wọ́n ń gbé ìpolówó ọjà wọn lọ. Ìwọ náà gbé polówó ọjà rẹ wá sí Ultimate FM lówó tí ò ga jara lọ. Àwọn onílé iṣẹ́ ńláńlá olókoòwò kéékèèké Ultimate FM ni wọ́n ń gbé polówó ọjà wọn wá. Ìwọ náà gbé polówó ọjà rẹ wá lónìí. Ká fi tiwa gbé tiyín lárugẹ ní kìlómítà 36 Àgọ́ Ìwòye Road Ìṣàrà Rẹ́mọ Ogun State. Àtàjèrè ọjà lẹ́sìn mọ́ ta.
Yes, yes, yes. It's VO Resort and Event Center. Do you need some time away from the hustle and bustle of the city to relax, kick back, and have some fun? Time off with family, friends, and that special someone. You have an event and need a beautiful, accommodating space to host your guests? Look no further. VO Resort and Event Center has got your back with our 1,000-seater hall, restaurant and bar, poolside, gym, tennis courts, golf course, VIP space, kids play courts, alluring bedrooms, and a serene environment to cap it all up. Nothing is left uncovered. VO Resort and Event Center is located at kilometer 36 Ishara, Agoiwoye Road, Ishara Remo, Ogun State. Telephone 081-687-09103, 090-416-26640, and 091-374-23830. With VO Resort and Event Center, you've made the right choice.
Boy, leave this channel now. I dey enjoy this Ultimate FM.
One happy woman at this Ultimate FM. Man, may enjoy your film. I like him, Ultimate FM.
Ina jin daɗi wannan gidan rediyo Mutubai FM.
Àpàlàgídí làwa ń jẹ lọ́jọ́ tó ti pẹ́ ọ̀nà ti jìn ó ti rọ̀ wá lọ́rùn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀kọ́.
Ìyá Kàbírù dákun fún Ultimate FM yẹn sílẹ̀ mò ń gbádùn ẹ̀.
Ẹ jọ̀wọ́ kó má tọ̀ra ẹ̀ irú ọ̀kẹ́rẹ́ lóhùn mi àmájálẹ́rú.
Má yí kúrò ń bẹ̀ Ultimate FM òun la yín gbọ́.
Ultimate FM lálára àgbàyídá.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Breafast Show here on Ultimate FM. Today is Tuesday, the 15th day of March 2022, and thank God I am happy today. I'm not cold. I'm not feeling a little bit under the weather. I'm just fine, and I think I'm adjusting to the whole work week thing. Not like yesterday that I was still feeling that it was the weekend. My name is Mesikata, your host for the program, and of course, I have here with me
Emmanuel, I wouldn't see.
Emmanuel, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
No, you have been fine since yesterday, so I don't need to ask you. Hope you had a great night rest.
I did.
Alright, do also join us live on Facebook at Ultimate FM, like our page to get notified when we are live to be part of all our programs. Listen to us live via our website at www.radiofm.com. Follow us on YouTube at Ultimate FM and on Instagram at Official Ultimate FM. The newspaper review this morning will come right after this short commercial break, so do stay tuned.
Yes, yes, yes. It's VO Resort and Event Center. Do you need some time away from the hustle and bustle of the city to relax, kick back, and have some fun? Time off with family, friends, and that special someone. Do you have an event and need a beautiful, accommodating space to host your guests? Look no further. VO Resort and Event Center has got your back. With our 1,000-seater hall, restaurant and bar, poolside, gym, tennis courts, golf course, VIP space, kids play courts, alluring bedrooms, and a serene environment to cap it all up, nothing is left uncovered. VO Resort and Event Center is located at kilometer 36 Ishara, Agoiwoye Road, Ishara Remo, Ogun State. Telephone 081-687-09103, 090-416-26640, and 091-374-23830. With VO Resort and Event Center, you've made the right choice.
Welcome back to the program this morning on Ultimate FM. Now let's look at what the Vanguard newspaper is saying. Buhari can't rescue Nigeria from worsening economic security predicaments. Governor Samuel Otom of Benue State has urged President Muhammadu Buhari to hand over to Vice President Yemi Osibanjo, saying from all indications the president lacks the capacity to rescue the country from the worsening economic and security predicaments confronting the nation. The governor, who spoke yesterday during an interaction with newsmen in Makurdi, among others, said, since the inception of our country, Nigeria, even before the independence, we have never witnessed this kind of nepotism that is going on in our country. We have never witnessed this level of disunity in our country. We have never seen this level of insecurity, and we have never seen this kind of economic downturn the way we have it today. I think there's a level of truth and sense to what he's saying. Although there are some parts of his statements that I don't completely agree with. But I want to hear what you think about what he said about the president not being capable of handling the economic and security predicament, saying he should hand over to the vice president. I want to hear your thoughts on it.
I want to say, when there was a time when a bill was passed to support its speech. So now, assuming the bill was passed successfully, this is actually going to be an offense in law. You saying something bad against the president. So I don't want to.
Did he say something bad against the president? He's
saying, well, one way or the other, he's saying he
didn't outrightly attack the president. You know, he just said he doesn't feel the president is capable. I don't really see that as an insult. So he just aired his views. I don't think it's an insult or something.
Well, assuming the bill was passed, he would have be facing the consequences.
So are you saying that somebody doesn't have the right to criticize the government?
Yeah, that's what the bill says.
Thank God it wasn't passed. But I really no. What do you think about his statement? Do you think there is sense in it? Do you think he's right, or what do you think?
Yeah, I will say to an extent it might be right, but I don't want to 100% say he's right. So I'll just say that partially it might be making sense, but it might not really be passing the direction it should actually.
Him saying that the president might not be capable, I think there's a little bit of, because from all indications, from what we are seeing, for the fact that the security situation in the country keeps getting worse. Yeah. The economic situation keeps getting worse. It is a sign of not being able to handle the situation properly. But him saying the president should hand over to the vice president, that is where I have a problem, because both of them are supposed to be working hand in hand. So what is the what's the assurance that we have that if you hand over to the vice president, things are going to change? Because we are both the same. It's just like you are the class captain and I'm the assistant, and you are saying you should hand over to me. But we are supposed to work together.
That's what I'm
so
saying.
So if there's going to be any handover, it should be during the elections and hand over to another person that is capable. Not saying that you should hand over to the vice president, because they are both one and the same.
That's why I said I'm not totally going to agree.
Yeah, that is why I don't totally. But him saying that at this particular point in time, the president is beginning to look like he's not capable of handling all these situations. I think there's a sense there. But the solution right now is for us to hold on till 2023 and vote wisely and make sure that the right person is brought into power, not just saying you should hand over to the vice president as of now. Because I really do think that there is really little that the vice president can do right now. All right, dismissed policeman jailed 27 months for stealing at father's funeral. An Ibutemeta Magistrate Court in Lagos yesterday sentenced a 36-year-old dismissed police officer John Dennis, who stole an iron bar valued at 6,000 naira on the day of his father's burial, to 27 months imprisonment. The magistrate, Mrs. Folarin Williams, sentenced Dennis to 2 years imprisonment on the first count of stealing and 3 months imprisonment on the second count of breach of public peace. Magistrate Williams said the defendant pleaded guilty to the charge and confessed to committing the crime. He said he intended to sell the iron rod he stole on the day of his father's burial. It is tried that there is no evidence as weighty as that of the confession of the defendant. This story is I don't know if it's funny. It's funny because why will you steal a 6,000 naira iron bar at your father's burial, for that matter, and you are even you were a policeman because he has been dismissed, but still, is it hunger? What exactly would have caused such an action? Like but do you think that the judgment was a little bit harsh? I mean, 2 years for 6,000, so something worth 6,000.
Yeah, you might actually think that the iron bars is something like you could just pick up and can just go like that with it. So maybe you didn't know that the offense that the gravity of what he actually did is actually
like the judge said, there is nothing as powerful as the admission of someone that is guilty. So he said he pleaded guilty. So there was really nothing that the judge cannot say, oh, don't worry, you're not guilty, you just did it out, because he had already said he was guilty. So the story is just funny, basically. I think that's what really caught my attention when I saw it. He stole it at his father's burial. It's very funny. It tells you the extent that some people are willing to go to just to make little money, but only God knows what he must have been passing through for him to actually want to steal an iron bar just worth 6,000 naira. Very, very funny indeed. Let me just take one more headline. Soldier, 6 others killed as youth groups clash in Edo community. There's fear and anxiety in Obayato community, Koba Oka local government area of Edo State, as 7 persons, including a soldier, have reportedly died as a result of clash between rival youth groups in the community over leadership tussle. Although the military has denied death of any of its personnel, it was gathered that there was a clash that led to the deaths when a faction of the youth leadership in the community purportedly led security personnel into the community to comb it over alleged possession of firearms by a rival group, and in the process, a soldier was reportedly killed, and while on reprisal, no fewer than 6 people, mostly youths, were killed. I keep saying this: do not allow, as youths, should not allow ourselves to be used as people or vices by politicians or whatever to just create harm and insecurity. Because what exactly is if you ask these people, sit them down and ask them why exactly they are fighting themselves, they don't have one tangible reason to give you. They don't have. But they just wake up, somebody just promises them one thing, and they just pledge alliance to the person and start doing whatsoever the person tells them to do without even thinking twice, and harming themselves in the process. And now 7 persons have been killed, although the military has not yet said that any one of their persons, but according to eyewitnesses, they said one soldier was killed. A really sad one indeed, but it's still a lesson to be learned. Why the fighting? Why not come together? We are talking about 2023 elections and how we want better leadership. But if we continue this way, how exactly are we going to get better leadership? Because it's looking like any little amount of money or whatever promise you just make to them, they just fall for it and start killing themselves. They can even lay down their lives just to make sure that they please the person. So let the youth just be wise. That's all I'm going to say about this. That was it on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Right after this short break, we're going to take more headlines, so do stay tuned.
Ó mà wá ga o. Gbogbo ọjà ló tutù bí omi àmù yìí. Báwo mo ṣe fẹ́ ṣe? Tájú òfin máa bùgbà tèmi náà jẹ.
Ọ̀rẹ́ wa àwọn ọlọ́gbọ́n dorí ẹja mú èèyàn. Ultimate FM ni wọ́n ń gbé ìpolówó ọjà wọn lọ. Ìwọ náà gbé polówó ọjà rẹ wá sí Ultimate FM lówó tí ò ga jara lọ. Àwọn onílé iṣẹ́ ńláńlá olókoòwò kéékèèké. Ultimate FM ni wọ́n ń gbé polówó ọjà wọn wá. Ìwọ náà gbé polówó ọjà rẹ wá lónìí. Ká fi tiwa gbé tiyín lárugẹ. Ní kìlómítà 36 Àgọ́ Ìwòye Road, Ìṣàrà Rẹ́mọ, Ògùn State. Àtàjèrè ọjà lẹ́sìn mọ́ ta.
Alright, welcome back to the Breafast Show this morning on Ultimate FM. Don't forget that you can join us live on Facebook at Ultimate FM and also like our page to get notified when we are live to be part of our programs. Emmanuel.
Alright, on Punch newspaper this morning, ASU extends strike to May. Parents beg. Federal government says demands met. The Parents Teacher Association of Nigeria has appealed to the federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities to, as a matter of fact or urgency, resolve the issue leading to the ASU strike so that students can go back to school. Speaking in an interview with The Punch, the national president, PTA Danjuma Aruno, said an additional 2-month strike will have devastating implications on the education sector. He said it will have devastating implications on the educational sector in the 36 states of Nigeria and the Federal Capital Territory. We call on both ASU and representative of the federal government to go back to the dialogue table and resolve their problems. So this is actually in line to what you were saying about one side ASU not taking blame and the federal government also not taking the blame. So now we don't really know what this strike is going to hold on to. We don't know the issues, what they've actually brought to the table, what they're actually talking about, what ASU wants, and maybe the federal government is actually willing to give to them.
Well, on this issue of ASU strike, just yesterday morning, we're talking about how they need to come to a conclusion urgently. They both need to, come to a mutual agreement urgently. And just, a couple of hours later, the news came up that the strike had been extended by 2 months, adding to the already the 1 month, making it 3 months. And we don't even know. We are very uncertain about what is going to be the result after those 2 months.
Maybe another strike again, or they might.
Don't say it out. You know how they say those. Yeah, you should not say those kind of negative things out so that it will not come to pass. But it's the truth. We are very uncertain about what the future holds, and it's not a matter of this issue is very, very complicated right now, because even the parents calling on the federal government will come out and tell you that they have met the demands of ASU, and ASU will tell you that the federal government has not met their demands. I keep asking, so who is deceiving who, and who is lying, and who is not telling the truth, and what exactly is the problem? Let everybody come out and say, because these are hard times. There's increase in price of foodstuff, high cost of petroleum, insecurity, and trust me, parents are very, very worried about the well-being of their children right now, because harboring a child that is not through with school at home for that period of time, it might lead to a whole lot of things. They might get exposed to several vices. You know how they say an idle mind is the devil's workshop, and it might become the case of some of these students if nothing is being done. And I think that is the fear of the parents most of the time.
And many of the final year students are already having the plans that, okay, by the end of this year,
that kind of thing. And right now this comes up. So what exactly does the future hold for them? A whole lot of discouragement is going to come up with this. I just really like what the PTA said. The federal government and ASU should go back to the dialogue table and try as much as possible to resolve their problems amicably, so that it will not, go further than it has already gone. I remember it just brought to my remembrance what was happening during COVID. during COVID, we saw the rise of internet fraud in this country because a whole lot of people, students were at home, even down to secondary school students. I remember very well, I watched a whole lot of videos where, you know, young guys, they're saying they're not going back to school anymore, that's now they want to hustle. You know what they mean when they say they want to hustle? So they're not going back, you know, those kind of things. And all this is because they were idle, they were not doing anything. So it's the same thing that would happen in the situation of this strike, this extension of strike. So I really do think that they come to a conclusion very, very soon.
Yeah, we really hope that the federal government and ASU, they come to a quick conclusion, because one way or the other, the students are affected.
Yeah.
Or another headline here says, 1 of 4 Ogun teenagers arrested for roasting girlfriend's head released. An Ogun State Magistrate Court sitting in Abeokuta on Monday discharged one of the 4 teenagers accused of killing and burning the head of the girlfriend of one of them for mourning rituals. The teenagers, Balogun Mustekim, Majekudumi, Salaudin, Abdulgafar Lukman, and Waris Oladeinde, were early arraigned and remanded in the Oba Correctional Center in the Obafemi Owode local government area of the state for murder of one Sophia Okeo. They were arrested on January 28, 2022 at Oke Areba, Kuba, Abeokuta, after allegedly killing and severing Okeo's head. The victim was said to be Majekudumi's girlfriend. Chief Magistrate J.O. Abdo discharged 17-year-old Oladeinde on legal advice receiving from the State Director of Public Prosecution. According to the Chief Magistrate, no charge was recorded against Oladeinde in the legal advice. Abdul said he based his judgment on the investigation by the police, which proved Oladeinde innocent. So now, out of three of them were actually guilty, and they actually caught the 4th one that is possibly should be one of them. And now, based on investigation and all this, the magistrate court said he is not guilty. So he said his investigation. The reason why he passed that judgment is because it's based on the police investigation. So they said that he is not guilty. So they still have like 3 of them that are fully in the crime.
Okay. The police, they carried out their investigations and found out that the 4th person wasn't guilty of what he was being accused of. Nevertheless, as he has been found not guilty, it doesn't still mean that he should be off the hook completely, and he should be allowed to do whatever it is he wants to do. Because, you know, when if you are friends with a criminal, there's every tendency that you would have criminal intentions as well. So I think that they should just be watchful over him, and he should just, you know, be under strict supervision.
Because he won't be arrested at first, even if he wasn't in the area of the incident.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he should be under strict supervision till the entire case is settled. All right, that was it on the Punch newspaper this morning. Right after this short break, we're going to take more headlines. Stay tuned.